Welcome to
Dear Friends and Dead Ends. My name is Cody.
And my name is Ashley. Cases may contain graphic details, explicit language, and very bad puns. This is going to be episode 20.
20.
20.
20.
Yes, Cody. Yes. It's very good.
Roman numeral XX.
Speaking of Roman, Italy listened to the podcast, and I don't remember what episode. I don't think I thoroughly investigated that. But I'm really, really hoping it was the Emanuela Orlandi case.
We're on to you, Vatican.
Yeah, you keep your Roman candle the fuck away from me. You understand me? Keep it away.
Is that euphemism for penis?
Duh.
Oh, got it. All right.
Obviously, keep that shit away. Oh, we forgot to talk about the fact that it's Pride Month.
Yes, we love all you gay people.
Okay. Anyone that's a part of the rainbow, we love you.
Yep.
Thank you so much for being you. I myself am a part of the rainbow. Cody is at the end of the rainbow with the pot of gold.
Because I'm short like a leprechaun. Get it?
Also, he's Irish, right?
Yes.
So it's like a multi-benefit. Let's see. We just recorded the first murder lib. So for anyone who hasn't joined our Patreon, I would definitely recommend it because that was definitely a good time. Also, what else do we have? We have a headline. I did sign us up for Venmo. So if people don't feel comfortable joining Patreon, but they want to do like a one-time tip, they can do Venmo.
Yep.
So
10K will go to Six Flags. Just remember, guys.
Yeah, the 10K tip where you still have to buy your own ticket, but Cody will accompany you to the park.
You have to buy your own ticket to get here. Like, I'm not flying you out, but my season pass will probably get you in for free on specific days.
I mean, what a deal. Like,
right?
What a deal. Who would pass that up?
So what Ashley is saying is, if you don't want to sign up for our Patreon, if you go to Venmo, you can give us just the tip.
That wasn't that funny. It's been a day, guys. My mother doesn't listen, but it is her birthday, so I do want to say happy birthday. But we're gonna turn this day around because it's been a day, guys. Should we do the first Patreon? Not today, but like next time we record, should we give them the first bonus full episode? Should we?
We could potentially do that.
We haven't hit our goal just yet, but I also don't want to deprive all the people that have supported us so far. It's been a couple weeks, man, but it's still pretty rough.
Yep. You still have beer fermenting in your lungs.
Probably. It's probably pretty rare. I should get it. I was going to say excavated, but that's not the right terminology.
No, I think it is.
Bitch-scavated. Okay.
It just rolls off the tongue. Are you first this week or is it me?
I'm first. I am first. I have it ready to go because this is the part 2 of the Helen Marie Voorhees Brach. I thought it was Brock. It is not, apparently. For anyone that didn't listen to last week's, I would go listen to it. That also reminds me, Cody said something, and we should also do something where we have a moment where we're like, what did Cody just say? What did he say? Because you said something about how Sarah's definitely going to murder you, and it's going to make you the most romantically inclined that you've ever been. And then we ended up talking about a person that got murdered after that, and I was like, oh, okay. So.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's not.
Just feel like we should clear
the
air.
I think of and say things before I think about whether they're okay to say or not.
You have not made that at all evident at any point in the podcast.
And last week, when I was talking about Sarah killing me,
yep,
and me getting all horned up, I apologize for how poorly timed that was. That should have been during a new section we're going to have, Cody's Kinky Corner.
Unsubscribe. No one's interested.
Yeah, no, I say things. I say things, and it wasn't terribly well timed, but I regret nothing. I apologize for nothing. Come after me.
You just okay. All right, we're gonna move right along.
That apology was only to set up the Cody's Kinky Corner joke.
Okay.
I regret nothing. I stand by it.
We're not here to kink shame people also.
Yeah,
so
agreed.
If that's Cody's kink, best of luck to Sarah. Dreams probably come true in his case, because she probably will kill him.
Eventually. However, yes.
Probably from just shouting really loudly and just like scaring the shit out of you because she gets excited about something.
I think it's going to be much more violent than that, but we should probably move on to part 2.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't even know what's going on with my life. I'm just okay. So for anyone that did not listen last week, I would go listen to it. You get the majority of the first half of the case. But what you need to know about Helen Marie Brach is that she was this woman who married into the Brach candy family, candy corn, as well as gummy bears, jelly beans, like that candy family. And then she disappeared, and there's a bunch of characters that get involved that really kind of weird you out. Carpet gets replaced in the house. They repaint 2 of the rooms. Her Cadillac gets shampooed after she vanishes. There's a lot of weird shit that goes on. And then I introduce her boyfriend, Richard Bailey, who says doesn't know her, even though everyone knows.
What did they call him? The houseman?
Oh, that was Joe.
Oh, right. Joe.
No, but Jack Matlick was his name. John Matt.
Is that what they called him? Houseman?
Houseman.
Mm-hmm. Houseman.
And we are still really not sure if they just did like meshed handyman and housekeeper or not. We're not really sure.
Not sure.
All right. So when I was talking about Richard Bailey, the boyfriend, we were talking about how he works in the horse market, like stables, different stuff like that. I don't know if he also does racing or anything like that, or if he just houses the horses that race or just regular people's horses. I'm not really sure. But he apparently is a con man. So he would go after recently widowed or divorced middle-aged wealthy women, and he would get their money invested in his horse business. So that's part of what happens. Helen ends up investing money in that business, and then she goes missing. So that's wonderful. And this is the second part. Let's see. So she's been missing for 7 years, which I think is what it takes before you're legally declared dead. I think it's about 7 years or so, because in 1984, Helen gets legally declared dead. The money in her estate, it went to animal protection organizations, and the rest went to her brother, Charles. Her case goes inactive for about 5 years. So this brings us to 1989.
Okay.
In 1989, there's a delve into a horse fraud business, fraud within the horse market, all of that. Not horses committing fraud. That would be amazing.
That's much less fun.
I know, that would be amazing, though. I really
fraud about horses is way less fun than like horse con artist.
Like, what could they do? Like, what kind of fraud could they commit? I don't know. Like, are you lying about how many sugar cubes you have in your stall? I'm not
Or
really
like
sure.
or like passing yourself off as a foal, but you're actually a pony. You'll just never grow up.
And you, I mean, not you. What? What else could they do?
I don't appreciate that I talked about how a pony is never going to get as big as a horse, and then you immediately related that to me, you piece of shit.
I also regret nothing. So, all right. Moving on.
Stand by it. You're a pony.
Yeah, bitch. No, we're not gonna. Okay, moving on. So Richard Bailey, as it turns out, is not just a solo con artist. He's not acting alone. He is connected to a man named Silas Jane. Silas is the founder of the Jane Gang, and they're involved in the horse business and organized crime in Chicago. Are you laughing at the name?
The Jane Gang?
Yeah, it's
Also, you can't trust anyone named Silas.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know anyone personally named Silas, but I'm pretty sure I would not trust them.
I know that, but like in movies and like TV and stuff, it's always like that's a bad person name.
Wasn't the bad guy in Heroes?
Don't know, never watched it, oddly enough.
Oh my God. So Silas Jane is found to be a suspect in some disappearances that happened 20 years prior. So this puts us at 1969. What?
I was just trying to do math and it wasn't working well.
Wow. Yeah, that's why we aren't successful business people. Okay. So what? So 20 years was more of an estimate because it says 1966.
So 23
roughly,
years.
20 years. Yeah. I also did not do great in math. So there's that. So this is Renee Bruhl, Patricia Blau, and Ann Miller. These three women vanished together in 1966. They had been in the Indiana Dunes State Park. They would ride their horses near the stable that Silas had owned. I'm not sure if they boarded them there, if they just rode them along the trails. I would imagine they also boarded them there, possibly. But Silas was a rather violent person, as you can imagine, since he had a gang. And police theorized that Helen had actually realized that he was connected to the three because they disappeared on one of the trails that he took care of, owned, whatever. They disappeared together while riding their horses on what I believe is his property.
And they think that Helen, the candy lady, figured that out?
Yes. So they think that she realized the con, not just on herself, but also what had happened to these other ladies.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So Jesus Christ. He then had her killed. All right. Really surprised the shit out of me. Okay, so in 1994, Bailey gets charged for Richard Bailey gets charged for the murder of Helen Marie Voorhees Brach. They also charge him with conspiring to commit murder, soliciting to commit murder, aka hiring an assassin. Bailey pleads guilty, but not to any of this stuff that I just mentioned because he's still like, I'm not involved. I don't know her.
Okay.
What he pleads guilty to is racketeering, conspiracy, mail and wire fraud, money laundering, and even conning women, such as widows and divorcees. So he's admitting to a lot of bad shit, but he's still like, I don't know Helen. Helen who?
I mean, I guess I can understand like copping to a bunch of stuff, but then being like a murder and kidnapping. Nah, dog, that wasn't me.
Correct. Yeah. just involved in these other things that are likely tied in together.
Yeah, sure. I did give some roses to all those old ladies. And sure, they gave me money so I could buy more horses. And sure, some of those horses said they were ponies, but they turned out to be foals.
And some of those ponies and some of those women are missing, but I am
Some of the
not
ponies were
involved.
missing?
Well, the women disappeared while they were riding their horses, the three of them. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they didn't like ride the horses and then the horses come back with no one on them. And they're just like, we didn't do anything.
Oh, that's kind of creepy, like to think about.
Yeah.
Just the horses like rolling back up and just like their eyes are all wide and they're like, I've seen some shit.
No, they're horse fraud. So they'd be like, I ain't seen nothing.
I ain't seen nothing.
I don't even know that bitch. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anyone named Anne or Patricia.
Snitches end up at the glue factory.
Ugh.
Because that's where horses go. They used to make glue out of horses.
Snitches turn into liquid stitches?
I'll allow it. Yeah, I'll allow it.
Glue?
Okay. Well done.
Yeah, sometimes. So let's see. Yeah, he admits to conning women and a bunch of other shit. In the end, it doesn't matter because the judge finds him guilty of conspiracy to commit murder on Helen Brach. He's sentenced to 30 years in prison. 19 of it is related to Helen. 11 of it is for all that other pre-existing stuff with all the fraud and everything. So that is the 94. In 2005, another man enters this whole craziness. His name is Joe Plemons, and he's got something to get off his chest. Joe had been a horseman, and he knew some details about an old missing persons case that he wanted to say. In his confession, Joe says that he, as well as 10 other people, one of which was a police officer, beat and then shot Helen to death.
God damn. What?
I mean,
10 people beat this little old lady to death?
I mean, she was tall and 200 pounds. So all I'm saying is,
God damn. Wasn't she like 70 though?
You're right. She was 65. So yeah, I don't know. But he's like, yeah, no, 10 of us. One of them was a copper.
Did he say why?
And we literally,
just fucking hates candy corn?
No. So this was organized by Silas Jane and Frank Jane Jr., who was his nephew. They then incinerated Helen's body at a steel mill near Gary, Indiana, which is where Michael Jackson is from. So it's not super relevant. I know. Either way, Joe admitted that he was the shooter. He admitted that he was the one that shot her, and he was given immunity for coming forward. But he's like, no, 10 other people, including a cop, beat this woman to death. And then I just shot her to put her out of her misery or whatever.
That's always fucking wild to me that they can be like, we know you killed someone in cold blood, but if you tell us how many other people there are, we'll give you immunity.
I mean, at the same time, like all they've got is this. So if they don't work with him a little bit, they may not get any more details out of him. So it's like a tough, tricky situation.
You didn't have shit before this guy came up. Just arrest that guy. Like, oh, no, that's cool. We got one of you. You shot her? You did. Yeah, you're the one.
Hired. He was hired. I mean, it's not like he had a motive other than like probably money or something else like that. Like
yeah, I get that. That's my motive.
For what?
Working a 40-hour-a-week job.
Yeah, I think
commendable.
It's rarely a word that describes you, but yes.
Okay. Not wrong.
Yeah. See last episode. Anyway.
What did I do last episode?
What?
Oh, the horny thing, right?
All right. So he was given immunity for coming forward. He summed up what investigators presumed, which was it was to keep Helen from outing the entire operation to police. And they just weren't about that. That wasn't going to happen. Joe says that Richard Bailey was actually not involved at all. So he's like, yeah, no, he wasn't involved in that part, but he definitely did date her and then take her money.
And just, oh, okay. So that was the guy that she was dating. Okay.
Yes. Joe even identified 9 of the 10 conspirators. The 10th was a woman whose identity was a mystery even to him, so he had no way of knowing who she was. He did say this woman was the fake Helen who flew home on the plane while the real Helen unknowingly is driving home to her death.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, not
if that part is true,
cool.
It's kind of like the fact that they could organize this whole spiel is just insanity. How people have the energy for this shit, because I do not. I barely have the energy to survive and do this podcast.
Getting away with a murder seems exhausting.
Yeah, you got to plan all that shit out, and then you actually have to do it. Like, you actually have to do that, and then you'll have to clean up and do the
It's a lot.
So yeah, not for us. We also don't advise doing it, but not our thing.
Yeah, don't ever plan a murder.
Correct.
Just do it in the spur of the moment. All right, I'll give a fake apology for that next episode. Sorry.
My life is a little bit stressful right now. And there are some moments where I'm like, why the fuck am I still doing this podcast?
We having fun.
And then you say things like that, and I'm like, no, really, why the fuck am I doing this podcast?
You're not going to get indicted on these charges.
Thank you. I was very concerned about it.
Good.
Oh,
the red-haired devil made me do it.
I can't tell if you're talking about me or you, because we have the same color hair right now.
That's fair. I don't have much hair, so I'm probably talking about you.
That's fair. What's that noise? Oh, I thought you were like boop or something like that, and I was like, that makes no sense. It's so dumb. Okay. So police are working to corroborate this confession. A lot of people had likely died somewhere in the mix of years between 1977, when Helen vanished, and 2005, when he comes forward. So Silas Jane died 10 years after Helen vanished in 1987. Frank, the nephew, is still in prison for an arson conviction that he has. He denies any involvement. And for what should not surprise us, Joe Plemons has contradicted his own statement multiple times. He's changed it up. He's said varying accounts. He hasn't kept his story straight, which sometimes is normal, but it depends on the variation of the details. Sometimes certain things make sense because your memory isn't always accurate, but sometimes you're just a lying piece of pineapple fuckery.
Oh,
that's a good one.
That was a good one.
We're keeping that one.
Very colorful.
Yeah. Yes.
Quite descriptive.
Yes. Painfully so, I hope.
Yes.
Yes. So he admitted to being a con man himself. So that's wonderful. He did get a man convicted for a previous case, however. And he finally came forward because he said the guilt had been eating away at him for years, which is possible. He's also a con man, so we're not really sure. There is another item, a piece of jewelry that just might back up and confirm his story. It comes down to a ruby ring. This ring came off of Helen's finger when disposing of her body. Joe kept the ring and did give it to the police upon his confession in 2005. The ring is it's not confirmed that it belongs to Helen, or if it is, the police aren't saying. But also no one has disproven this as her ring. No one has ruled it out that we know of, but they haven't confirmed it. So it would make his story a lot more plausible if he has one of her rings.
Yeah.
Because how else would he fucking get it? Unless he went in the house, but even that doesn't really make any sense. So Richard Bailey hears about this whole situation in 2005, and he's like, hell yeah, I'm getting out of this mofo. He files a motion for a new sentence hearing, sentencing hearing because this showed evidence that he was innocent because this guy says he wasn't involved. The court ruled against him, and do you want to know why? The evidence brought to light was better suited for overturning his conviction, not reducing his sentence. Therefore, he would be remaining in prison until the end of his sentence. Because they're like, no, this would exonerate you. This wouldn't reduce your sentence. So therefore, we can't reduce your sentence.
What the absolute fuck?
I want to be horrified, but I actually just find it funny. Because he's a shit guy. He's done other things.
Wait. So instead of them being like, hey, this exonerates you, you're getting out early, they're like, we can't reduce your sentence. You have to stay here.
Yeah, they're like, no, this would exonerate you. This wouldn't reduce your sentence. That just doesn't make sense. So you'd have to file for being exonerated. But we can't do that because you're also serving 11 years for whatever else you did. So sorry, you didn't file the right paperwork.
God damn.
That's fucking cold ass justice.
That's insane.
That's probably one of the best things I've ever heard. Honestly,
man,
it's ridiculous.
Like, it's fucked up, but like at the same time, like he deserves to be in jail, clearly,
right? Because he's done a lot of horrible things.
It's terrifying to know you could be in jail. Mm-hmm. They bring evidence forward that shows that you did not do it, and you file the wrong goddamn paperwork, and you have to stay.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yes. So this is in 2005, right? He is in prison for another 14 years. He gets released in 2019 at the age of 90.
Oof.
2019, and then boom, COVID happens the next year after you get released in your 90s, so you can't fucking go anywhere and you're in prison again, basically.
God damn.
Which, I'm sorry, makes me laugh because he was a shit stick. So yeah, basically he's in prison all over again, but for different reasons because he can't fucking go anywhere.
I thought you were gonna say he got COVID like he was dead.
No. But I mean, still, he was just in prison and then he's stuck being in his home. It's possible. Jack Matlick was never charged with anything. He died in a Pennsylvania nursing home in February 2011. Joe Plemons is currently living in Florida. Helen's remains have never been found, and she's actually buried in an empty grave, I believe, outside Chicago. They have a grave marker and, kind of like a tombstone, or it's more like a memorial because it's like a larger marble cement thing.
Right.
But it looks pretty cool, but there's no one buried there because obviously they've never found her. And I don't know that we'll ever have the answers. She definitely would have passed away by now. I am fairly certain. But it's a crazy case. And the fact that it was connected to the Brach candy family and just the fact that she married into that and then she went missing and then all these weird characters get involved. It's just super weird.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know that anyone would have any details or have any family members that would have any details related to the case, but I put the number down just in case. You never know. Glenview PD, which is outside of Chicago, 847-729-5000. And that is the case of Helen Marie Voorhees Brach.
When I go to Chicago in September,
I'm so jealous.
You should remind me, and I'll see if I can't go get a picture of that tombstone grave site.
I don't think you're gonna have enough time.
Why? Didn't you say it's like right outside of Chicago?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
I don't know. That'd be cool.
I mean, I might be lying. Fucked. I don't know if she's actually buried outside Chicago. I just made a guess because I saw a picture of her gravestone. So
that grass looks like it's near Chicago.
I mean, that's where she lives, so I'm not sure where they would bury her, but whatever.
Fair enough.
Sticking with it. I do have a headline if you are interested.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. So this was sent to us by Midwestern Mystery Files. Or is it Midwest Mystery Files? I'm so sorry. Midwest Mystery Files. I apologize. It's been a day, but I did get it right in the end.
Wait, that's the one that we've talked to before, right?
Correct. The one that we're fake married to as podcast.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah. So they sent me this. It's an update on the Bobby Bizup or Bizup case from outside of Denver, Colorado. That's the one with the boy who was deaf at the camp. Went missing while walking back with the counselor. And then I did a separate update that was details of the people that were involved that got arrested / had a lot of really, really creepy shit. So they sent this to me, and this got released about, looks like May 27th of this year. So this is like new information. Skull believed to belong to boy who disappeared from summer camp has been in possession of Colorado family. So they didn't find it on the grounds. So a family.
They just had
the skull.
A skull.
Yeah.
Huh. And they didn't think like maybe take that to the police or
right.
Like, hey, this skull's pretty small.
I don't understand this. The website I'm getting this from, it's WFAA.com. I'm pretty sure it's like a Dallas weather or news website. But
that's a bold move if it's a weather website.
I'm sorry, they have the weather at the top. I got distracted. What? It had Dallas on it and the temperature right now. And
tomorrow is looking like 75 and cloudy. Also, this
93
boy's skull.
and sunny is what it says, you fuckface. I mean, if we're gonna talk about weather, we should at least be accurate. So if you're in Dallas, this is your past weather at this point. You're welcome. Ooh. So more than 60 years after a deaf boy died after vanishing from a Catholic summer camp, police have obtained a skull that is believed to be the boy's. And let's see. So earlier this year, there was some information, or maybe it was late last year, that had those 3 people that were involved, that were pastors or just counselors at the camp over the various years. And they talk about how they did find part of his remains way back when, about a year after he had vanished, or some odd months. And then all these years have gone by. And then as of just recently, they find out that this man, Dr. Tom McCloskey, has had this skull the entire time. He said that it was originally in possession of his father, Dr. Joseph McCloskey. Is that a picture of them? Oh, it is. We saving that shit. I'm going to send it to you. Obviously, I proofread this and read this ahead of time. I'm sending the picture to you. So, anyway. So this guy has had the skull, but it was owned by his father first. His father had the skull, and he actually happened to be a prominent member of the Catholic Church and a close friend of the priest who was running Camp St. Malo when the boy vanished. That's not weird at all. You have a boy's skull. Very gross. Your friend runs the camp. Somehow you've had the skull the whole time, and you're like, I don't know. Maybe it's ancient. We're not really sure. Not weird at all. Tom's father, Joseph, the one who had been friends with the guy that ran the camp, died in 1980. Tom said he took possession of it a couple years after that point, was when he found it. So he's had it since what, 1982?
Something like that.
Yeah. Tom says that the only thing his father ever told him was that it may be the skull of a boy who disappeared from the camp. He said he could not remember his dad's exact words.
His dad fucking told him what it was.
Yep. Over the years, he said he tried several times to identify the boy and find news stories about the disappearance, he was never able to. In fairness, the internet wasn't really a thing.
Take it to the fucking police.
Oh, yeah, that would be the obvious option. I didn't even consider that when I was reading over this.
I'm going to go to the library and look at microfiche of a bunch of missing persons case instead of taking this goddamn skull to the police.
That's an option I didn't even consider.
Ooh.
I gotta be real with you. You said that and I was like, oh my God.
Oh shit, clarity. You're right. Yeah, you should take Bones to the police.
Yeah, he could have done that, actually. And I'd be like, oh, maybe this is blah, blah, blah. And he'd be like, oh, okay, good, great. I'm glad I could help. Instead, he was like,
hey, my dad gave me this. You're going to want to do an investigation.
Right? Instead, he's like, a mystery. I have to solve this myself. But I only have salt, pepper, and a blanket.
What kind of bullshit picnic is this?
But iguanas, though.
Do you think that there's a salt and pepper shaker that's just a skull, but each eye holds a different, like one eye holds your salt and one eye holds your pepper?
Don't any of you fuckers take that. Do you understand me? If it does not exist, we will create it as part of our merch. I would threaten your life if you take it, but that would not be very good for the podcast.
No, it wouldn't.
So please don't do that. We need this money.
What we're saying is our few very loyal followers hunt these people down and take them out before they run away with our skull idea. And when I say take them out, I mean
psychically you have to know that they want to do this.
Yeah. When I'm take them out to
a ball game,
to a nice picnic at the lake.
Yes, Camp Crystal Lake.
This is an audio podcast, so you can't see me winking to the camera, but I'm fucking going for it, okay?
He's all horned up about winking right now.
Yeah.
And you guys are missing out on it. And the link just fucking broke that I was using for this. Come on.
Yeah, we had everything we needed. You want me to do my story?
Did we? Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, basically. He ain't do shit. He could have. More disappointment. Thank you to Midwest Mystery Files for sending that to me. I greatly appreciate it. I did not realize that development had happened, and I'm definitely waiting to hear the results about this.
Thank you, Midwest.
Yes, thank you. I'm 90% sure that has to be his skull.
Has to be his skull, don't you know?
Because that doesn't make any sense. They're in Iowa, by the way.
Who is?
Midwest Mystery Files, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know if you
fuck I'm an Iowan accent sounds like.
If anyone thinks they just had a stroke while listening, no, that was Cody. Just
nope,
talking.
That was just me.
That was just Cody. No, but it's not like you were trying to do like either Wisconsin or Canada.
Oh, don't you know? We love that squeaky cheese, don't you know?
Please don't leave us Wisconsin, because I know that you've listened. God, you're just.
Is it Wisconsin that it's like fucking they produce all the serial killers?
Well, they do have Ed Gein. They also have Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm not sure who else.
All right,
but
so
I know there are more.
You got two of the big boys coming from Wisconsin. So I was just kidding, guys.
We're the murder big boys.
Murder big boys. Is it am I doing my thing?
I mean, one of us is gone and it wasn't you, so
it wasn't me. All right. I'm doing the
I think we should get therapy for the people that listen to this.
Nah, they're fine. I'm doing the unsolved murder of Elizabeth K. Faria. Faria. Faria.
That sounds right.
Elizabeth K. Faria worked at State Farm Insurance in Troy, Missouri.
Oh, wow.
She actually went by the name Betsy. Okay. She was married to Russell Scott Faria, who was known as Russ, and they were raising her two daughters rather from Betsy's past relationship.
Okay.
Unfortunately, in 2010, Betsy was diagnosed with breast cancer. By October 2011, it had metastasized.
Yeah, that's right.
To her liver and was terminal.
No.
On December 27th, 2011, Betsy went to have her chemotherapy treatment at the Alvin J. Siteman Cancer Center near where she lived. Afterwards, she went to visit her mom. Some people may not know this, but after chemotherapy treatment, you are normally really weak. It just kind of saps all your energy out of you. So more often than not, they make you bring a driver. Like you have to.
Yeah, I mean, you just have all these chemicals just pumped into your body. Yeah. It's going to be draining.
It's a lot. So she was actually given a ride to her mom's house by a coworker named Pamela Hupp.
Okay.
Pamela would be the last person to see Betsy alive after she insisted to hang around and give her a ride home from her mother's. So Betsy's mom was a little bit older, and Betsy was like, just drop me off. I'll hang out with my mom, and then I'll make mom drive me home. And Pam was like, no. Like, you can go in and have your visit. I'll just hang out in the car or whatever you're comfortable with, and then I'll drive you home. So Pam later said that she dropped her off around 7 that night.
Jesus, this is a murder. I keep thinking she just vanished. I'm like, maybe she wanted to, but no, this is a murder.
Oh yeah, no, it's a murder. Oh, it's a murder.
Okay.
So that night, her husband Russ had been hanging out with 4 friends, watching movies until around 9 p.m.
Okay.
I kind of immediately found that strange because his wife is going through chemotherapy. That's fucking tough. And he's hanging out with his friends watching movies. Not to say they didn't have like an arrangement, but
maybe she wanted to relax and rest when she got home, and she didn't really want him there.
It was one of those things that it kind of struck me as strange.
It could be though.
So on the drive home from his friend's house, he stopped at Arby's in Lake St. Louis. It was one of those things that going further that becomes relevant because it is part of his story.
His timeline.
Right, his timeline. At 9:40 p.m., Russ was on the phone with 911 as he had gotten home to find his wife had killed herself. When the first responders arrived just 10 minutes after the call, they said that she had been dead for at least an hour, and it was likely longer than that. So he got home at 9:40 rather, and called and told 911, my wife has killed herself.
Which is a big reach to immediately say that. Typically, I feel like people would be like, my blah, blah, blah is dead.
Oh God, something's wrong. Please come home. So it's more of a reach than you even fucking think.
Oh,
she had quote unquote
no.
killed herself by stabbing herself over 55 times so brutally that she almost cut both of her own arms off because she killed herself. She almost cut both of her own arms off.
Oh, I got it.
Because she killed herself. And
tried to defend her own stabs.
Right.
Yeah,
her last bit of energy,
I mean, you gotta keep them guessing,
was plunging the knife into her neck. So basically almost like only the handle was sticking out.
Oh my God.
That's how she decided to kill herself.
You're right.
It's strange.
Your body is literally already doing that for you.
Yeah. But also, unless you're like fucked up on some crazy shit,
correct.
you're not going to have the energy to almost cut both of your own arms off and stab yourself 55 times.
What is it? What is it? Yeah, first of all, blood loss and pain. A lot of people wouldn't be able to handle the pain.
Unless you're going like absolutely psychotic or you're like super fucked up on something crazy, you're going to stab yourself maybe a couple times and then be like, you know what? That's not for me.
Yeah, and most of the time,
that's what I would think.
You 55 times and then you're like, this isn't working. Let's try a different method. So you just go for the jugular.
Her arms were almost severed off of her body. And he called 911 and was like, oh shit, my wife killed herself. Like he is seeing his wife lay on the ground, stabbed 55 times, arms hanging on by just a bit. And he's like, she really wanted to kill herself.
Men, I don't.
So, the day after his wife's death, Russ was arrested.
Was he partially blind?
I don't believe so. Didn't notate that. Surprisingly,
maybe he had like cataracts or something.
I mean, maybe.
Please continue.
Surprisingly, the first responders didn't buy into the whole suicide angle.
Oh my god, no way.
Russ was very upset and insisted that she must have taken her own life rather than want to continue fighting against the cancer, being well aware that it was a losing battle.
You have terminal cancer.
Right.
Instead, you decide you really would like to plunge a sharp object over and over again into your body. So your last moments on this earth will be very, very painful. That's the way you'd like to go out.
Correct. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Also, there were blood-stained slippers in Russ's closet. So that's not a great look.
Oh my god. Oh honey.
He was apparently like wildly emotional, and he failed a polygraph test.
Oh, you sweet, sweet dumb fuck.
Oh. So police went to the coworker to talk about the night she was dropped off. Pam said everything was normal, as normal as it could be. You know, Betsy going through cancer treatment.
Her eyes had that twinkle though. And she saw the knives and I knew it was over.
Yeah. Although Betsy had confided some things in her. She had told Pam that Russ was actually Russ was actually a heavy drinker with a violent temper.
Wow. Shocking.
He had even threatened to kill Betsy, and there was supposedly proof of that on her laptop. So Pam was like, no, check her laptop. I'm positive it's there. Check her laptop.
I keep forgetting this is not in the 50s. This is literally recently.
Yeah, it's upsettingly recent.
Oh my God.
He had even he had threatened to kill her, and she was actively considering leaving him. So she had started looking into like divorce lawyers and all this shit.
Sweetheart, she has terminal cancer. I don't really think you need to threaten anything.
No. But there is the two kids to think of.
What?
She had 2 kids from her previous marriage.
Okay.
So like I could understand being like, get this fucking divorce pushed through, and I'm gonna spend my last days with my 2 kids instead of this shitbag.
Oh, for her, absolutely. I meant for him.
I get that. So January 4th, 2012, the very day after Betsy's funeral, Russ was charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. I've never heard that charge before, but apparently it's a thing. Armed criminal action. So it sounds like you have a weapon and you do some criminal shit.
It's almost like de-armed criminal action, though.
Oh, Ashley made a joke about the woman's arms almost being cut off.
I really think it's very shitty that she went through that. It was just
yeah, that's a good joke. Bail was set at $250,000 and he couldn't afford that. So he stayed in county jail until November 18th, 2013, when his trial began, which also kind of blew my mind. Like, I understand that you have to like stay in jail before your trial, but I just assumed trials happened quicker than that.
He was actually how long?
He was in jail for like almost 2 years.
That's actually not too bad. There are some.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I had no idea. So on November 21st, 2013, Rust was convicted on both accounts.
Good.
He was sentenced to 30 years. And this is the other fucking wild shit. So during the trial, they were like, no, you fucking killed her. And he was like, I think she killed herself.
Oh my God.
And they were like, no, you fucking goon. That you killed her. And your 4 friends who we interviewed are complicit in that because they backed up your alibi, you piece of shit. The 4 friends that he was watching movies with were complicit. They were never charged, and they didn't even know that they were considered complicit in the murder until the media was asking them about it after the verdict, and they were being interviewed. Can you imagine finding out how goddamn close you were to being charged with being complicit in a murder by some jackass fucking reporter being like, so your buddy Russ killed someone. Why'd you help? That's when they found out they could have been charged with being complicit in a murder.
Because he never was there. Is that correct? He was there and he left early.
He was there.
Okay.
So on August 16th, 2016,
oh boy.
a man named Louis Royce Gumpenberger allegedly attacked Pam Hupp, Betsy's friend.
Yeah.
She was attacked.
Okay.
She had a gun at the time and defended herself by fatally shooting him. So Hupp was attacked by this random guy and shot him dead.
Okay.
Found on Gumpenberger was a note that said, kidnap Hupp, get Russ money from Hupp at her bank, and kill Hupp. Take Hupp back to house and get rid of her. Make it look like Russ's wife. Make sure knife sticking out of neck.
All right.
I know what you might be thinking. Holy shit. Russ hired Gumpenberger to fucking kill Hupp. Wait, did I say that right? Russ hired Gumpenberger to kill Hupp.
Right. Pam.
For, fuck knows what reason.
Not completely sold, but yeah.
So are you putting anything together yet?
What I think I'm putting together in reality aren't always the same thing, but I think
so.
I'm thinking something.
See, unfortunately for her, Hupp had actually called 911 before, quote unquote, defending herself.
Shut up.
Right? She had lured this man to her home and murdered him. He was actually mentally and physically impaired after a car accident in 2005, and anyone who knew him knew he was not capable of doing anything like that.
I'm never making friends again.
She had even gone so far as to lay down a rug so he wouldn't bleed on her good carpet.
Wow. Can we say premeditated or can we say premeditated?
Little weird.
Mhm.
So apparently, Pam felt as though she had to further make Russ seem terrible, as it had just recently come out publicly that just days before Betsy was murdered, she had named Pam full beneficiary of a $150,000 life insurance. So while Betsy was worried Russ wouldn't behave properly after her death, Betsy signed it over to Pam so she could make sure to put it into a trust for her 2 children.
Jesus Christ.
Pam didn't do that. Pam kept the money.
Of
There was no legal paperwork saying that that's what she had to do. So,
Wow.
Pam kept that money. So
Upstanding individual.
Pam was pretty quickly found guilty of Gumpenberger's murder because, you know, she had 911 on the fucking phone as she did it. So while the murder was never solved, and it is still technically, the investigation is still technically open.
Wait, is this guy, did he get released?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Russ
So I
got
would
out.
figure.
It
Okay.
sounds like he's probably just super stupid or an actual alcoholic. And he
Okay.
got home and was like, oh my God, she killed herself. Like,
Great.
yes, he failed a lie detector test, but he didn't seemingly actually do anything.
I mean, his
So
nerves and bloodstream was on the devil's juice. So I mean, it's
yeah. So
probably had the shakes.
Russ has since gone free and has just sued the fuck out of everybody for the wrongful conviction, because later on it was found that during the trial, for whatever reason, the sitting judge wouldn't allow a bunch of evidence, but all that evidence pointed towards Pam, because it was like they had found out that it had been signed over. And even though Pam said, oh, I dropped her off at 7 o'clock and then quickly went home, they looked at her cell phone records, and all of her cell phone records were there until like a little bit before Russ actually got home. So it was almost definitely Pam, but she was only charged with the Gumpenberger murder.
I so love to be disappointed and let down by all these various stories.
What a twist.
Jesus.
So
Yeah,
Pam Hupp
yeah.
killed the fuck out of her coworker who was dying of cancer anyway, so she could get the life insurance, you know, just
Wouldn't
that much
she
sooner.
have gotten it? Yes, she would have gotten it anyway.
Yes, that is correct. And Russ still had a
bitch.
separate life insurance policy out, like just their mutual, like shared one, for $100,000. So Russ actually had one of the life insurance policies, and that was something that they had gone and done together. But the separate one that Betsy had set up, she signed over to Pam, and then Pam was like, oh, no, 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 no. I'll take you to your mother's house, and then I'll fucking take you home. And she did. And then he stabbed her 55 times.
55?
Pam's not a good friend.
55.
At least 55 times. At least 55 times. Pam's not a good friend.
She doesn't have really good aim either. Like, what, 55 times?
Yeah, no, that's a lot. There's no need for that, probably.
Like, it's overkill. It's way beyond overkill. I don't understand what would make you that rageful.
I don't think this is anything anyone else has thought about, but 150,000 divided by 55 times.
Oh God, Cody.
Each stab was worth around $2,700.
And she got to keep it? They didn't take it away from her?
I don't know. She's in jail now for murdering Gumpenberger, which is a great name, by the way.
But that's right. She didn't get convicted in the other one, so they wouldn't take it necessarily.
She hasn't been convicted yet. The investigation's still open.
So she can still use it at commissary or whatever.
Is that a thing? Are you allowed to use like your regular ass bank account at the commissary?
Yeah, you just have people put money into your account. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So they're just transferring it.
But yeah, Pam's a piece of shit.
God damn it, guys! Come on. Like, you couldn't just take the skull to the police. You couldn't just like wait until this woman who has terminal cancer peacefully goes. We couldn't do that. It was too much.
Nothing fun about that shit.
I hate everyone. This is so dumb. So this week was an upper. You're welcome, guys. Woo! Such great stories.
Yeah. So sad.
Happy. Can you try and be genuine? So can you tell I'm in a mood? I just
maybe a little bit.
Oh my God. Yeah, I just super moody. But I do want to say happy Pride Month. This is one of my favorite months. Usually I go to Capitol Pride in DC. Unfortunately, they're not doing it this year. Or they're waiting until October potentially, but everyone enjoy the month.
You should enjoy Pride every month. October?
They might have Pride in October. They're going to try and organize something.
Oh, that would kick ass.
They typically do it in June, but hopefully they're organizing something from what I read.
Oh, that's fun.
October. Yeah, so that would be fun.
Love who you love. Be who you want to be.
Just be happy and don't be a shitstorm.
Yeah, we support you.
Absolutely. Unless you've murdered someone, then we don't know you. We don't know you at all.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
If you've murdered anyone, I want nothing to do with you. But I still support your sexuality.
Okay. All right. Yes. Wasn't sure where that was gonna go.
I wasn't sure either.
I prepared like a
disgusted talking before I had something to say.
Yeah, no, I had a disgusted face prepared for whatever was going to come out, and I was like, oh, okay. But thank you so much, guys, for listening to episode 20 of Dear Friends and Dead Ends podcast. Don't forget, we have bonus content on our Patreon, which is on the profile page of our Instagram. It's got the link, like all the links that you need, including Venmo. I'm going to put Venmo on there as soon as I can, or it'll be on the profile. But it's Dear Friends Dead Ends Pod. It's really the only one you need to remember because, like I said, it has links to everything. We don't know when we're doing the conspiracy thing because we don't have that planned. We'll figure it out. We'll let you guys know. But thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. And we do. Yes, we do need to thank our patrons.
Thank you, patrons.
We need to shout them out. Thank you to Kristen, Amanda, Corey, Judicator, Autumn. You guys are the best. We really do appreciate it. And we're going to give you guys such fun bonus content. You don't even know.
I'm not going to wear anything. I'm just pixels.
You were going to do the sports bra and a thong is what we were promised.
Right. That's right. Forgot.
Yeah. I don't know if Sarah's sports bra is going to fit you.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
I need a super flat-chested one.
Yeah. Some noise going on outside my house. Anyway, thank you. Hopefully I don't get murdered.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Someone's banging on something.
Oh,
inside.
Because of the noise. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's very
suspicious. All right. We appreciate you all.
Yes.
Thank you all. Remember, Venmo. Memo. Just the tip.
Just the tip. Also, to your friends, Dead Ends Pod has all the links. So
all of them.
Once we get to $100 per month on Patreon, whenever that is, we will dress up as each other for a full episode. However that looks. Yep. Probably not great.
I'm going to have a Little Mermaid wig and pixels.
He's gonna have 2 real starfish on his nipples.
My nips. My
Best
nips.
of luck. Yes. They might be just starfish stickers, but it'll be fine. All right. So we will see you guys next week for more stupidity.
All right. Bye. Bye. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.